was you're always going to wonder what if. Like, what if I would have given it more time, more attention? Like, where could I have grown it to? What could I have done? We just decided all in was the way for us, and I'm so glad that we did.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Boutique Bosses, where we come on and highlight some really, really dope e-commerce brands that are doing some really cool things. And we've actually had the privilege of helping them out in some way, form, or fashion with the marketing side, right? So today's guest is Amber Darley. She actually owns Allure Clothing Boutique out of Tennessee. Really excited to show y'all her brand. The things that she's been able to do with her business is absolutely incredible. I know a lot of y'all are going to get a lot of value from this. So Amber, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Can't complain, I can't complain. I mean, like I say, nobody would listen if I did anyway. You know what I mean?
Guys, y'all have to ignore this back room here. This is Q4. So if you're in the boutique world, you know what that's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah, Amber was like, should I clean up like the back here or what? I was like, no, like this is real life. Like if you're a business doing massive amounts of revenue like she is every month, this is what your back end is going to look like. Trust me.
This is our store room in the back of our storefront. So it's like even worse on that side.
Cool. So Amber is like, first of all, I just want you to kind of tell the audience a little bit about your story. You know, how did you get into e-commerce originally?
Sure. Okay. So it's really just kind of a fluke. I was a business and marketing teacher. So I had been teaching high school business and marketing classes for about 5 years. And I love clothes. I think all the women, we all say that we love clothes. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, hey, I think I'm going to start this on the side, just to have some fun. I'll be honest and say I never in a million years would have even thought that it would have led to this. I quit teaching about 2 years after I started the business on the side. So yeah, I would have never guessed that it would have led to here. But I just wanted to do it something, fun, something that I loved and would enjoy, bring happiness, all those things. And I also had the thought as a teacher, like, hey, if I have my own business, like I can use that in class as like an example. I can really like teach these kids like, hey, I know this is to be fact because I'm doing it and this is what I've experienced. So it was valuable in the classroom, I feel like, too, for those 2 years that I did both.
I want y'all to like listen to what she said. She never thought that it would turn out the way that it did, right? And I see this happen all the time with new business owners. They just feel like this is something like it's some kind of fantasy. Like they can never achieve it and it would just be such a crazy thing if it actually happened. And then boom, 2 years of her working at it, she quit her job and she's doing it full time, right?
I'm 5 years in now. So I guess it's been about 3 years maybe about 2.5. I quit at the end of a school year. So I would have quit in May. I guess about 2.5 years of not teaching now. And I did miss it. I loved teaching. So there was no like, I hated my job, none of that. Yeah. I loved teaching, but I just kind of got to the crossroads where I had to pick, like I could no longer give, the business needed more attention. And I did not think it was fair to take away more attention from the classroom to give to the business. So I just had to make a decision. And so I just decided, my husband and I talked about it. We're like, you're still going to have your teaching license, if this doesn't work out. So we just decided go all in. And we're kind of big on that. Like, I feel like to be very successful, you do kind of need to have that like all in mentality. So that's what we decided to do, stop teaching for a year, go all in, and then make a decision.
Got it. And for everybody listening right now, you have to do the same thing, right? If you want something in life, like you can't have this like jumping back and forth thing. You got to go all in, like you have to make a decision. I call it burning the ships. I'm sure if you guys have heard that metaphor of burning the ships. You come on an island and you want to take this island, you got to burn the ships. And there's literally no way away from this island. Like you're either going to like die trying or you're going to conquer, period. And that's kind of like the mentality that you have to have.
Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It was scary. It really was. And I don't think without my husband's support that I would have ever, maybe even had the guts to do it, but he was very supportive about it. And it was very scary, but it really was time for me to make that decision. So I had to choose which way to go. And I think what he said to me was, you're always going to wonder what if. And I think he's right. I think I would have always wondered, like, what if I would have given it more time, more attention? Like, where could I have grown it to? What could I have done? So we just decided all in was the way for us. And I'm so glad that we did. And all in also included a move from a small downtown location to a shopping center. So that was also another scary like milestone, but it's been the right decision, and not looking back on that. So
that's amazing. Like now going into your business now, like as you started to build this business and stuff, like what were some of the bigger like struggles that you had when you were first trying to get this off the ground?
So I'll say that obviously there's like the little things, the things that you can Google, how to get a business license, where do I go to buy the clothes, all those things you can find out. But probably my answer for then and like for now and forever will be reach. I would always tell my students, you can have the best products in the world, but if you don't reach the right audience or any audience, you're not going to sell them. So it's all about like finding the audience, and they need to be your audience, because it's what you have may not be for everyone. But if you really believe in what you have, which I do, we always sell like quality clothes. We're size inclusive. I really believe in what I do and what I sell. So the next thing was just like, how do I find the people? So, and I think that's probably a continuous struggle, in the boutique world or maybe any business. But in the beginning, if it's like for new people watching, that was like for us, Facebook groups, invite your friends, and they'll invite their friends, and so on and so forth. And then you kind of grow from there with your website, your Instagram, your page, all those things, word of mouth, all those things.
And start with what you have, right? My opinion is don't look for some amazing plan and strategy to just unravel itself. Like just start moving, start taking action, and the plans will start laying themselves out in front of you as you go, right? But you're never going to have it all figured out. You know what I mean?
It requires hard work and dedication. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say probably in the beginning when I was teaching and doing this, I probably put in like 80 or 90 hours a week. So it does require a lot. But it's like how much you want it, and it's so amazing. Like when you sit back and look at it later and go, oh my gosh, I actually built this, I did it myself, just below me,
Exactly.
It's really nice. And of course I did have like support, my husband, my parents, my brothers, and all that, but it's really amazing to see what you can build whenever you just believe in yourself and go all in and work hard. I will say another good place when you're first starting is pop-up shops. So you need to grow that audience and that reach. Go to pop-up shops, hand out business cards while you're there. People will fall in love with your items, they'll join your group, and you have more people in your audience. So
yes, absolutely. And collect the data, guys. Collect your data, right?
Absolutely. And I told them that at the beginning.
Yeah, we've been preaching that for like a while now, especially now that, privacy policies are tightening up with Apple and iOS. And now, Facebook's had a couple glitches where they shut down for a couple days and it freaked everybody out, right? So these types of things are making it more and more obvious that we need to be collecting our consumer data, right? And what I mean by that is emails, phone numbers. Like how can you reach your audience directly, right? Because like, for instance, let's just say you build your Facebook page up and you spend all this time and money building up your Instagram and your Facebook and your TikTok and all this stuff. But what if social media just disappears, right? Which is sometimes it can happen like that. And now you're completely screwed and you're back to ground zero. But if you have everybody's email and everybody's phone number, then you can just reach out to them directly and say, hey man, like Facebook shut down, like crazy, right? But that's okay. Like I'm over here now, like come follow me over here.
Use it. That was my thing. Like I would have the emails and I would either fail to get them or I would have them and not use them. Like you can use that. I think that we've tested it. And I think if we send an email out, we have on average like 100 more reviews on our website that day. So, that's like powerful number there. Use it. If you collect those emails and those text messages, it's definitely, or those phone numbers for text messages, they can help a lot.
I know a lot of people like they have this false belief in their mind where like they don't want to annoy their customers, right? By emailing them too much, you're like that too, but it's like, you got to look at some of the major brands out there. Right. And I'm not going to name any names, but just look at some of them, that what they do. And you'll see like they're emailing people like 2-3 times a day. And you got to remember that success leaves clues. Right. There's a reason why these major like multi kajillion dollar brands are sending out 3 emails a day. It's because it works. Right. So don't think that you're annoying people, because honestly, they got so much going on. They forgot that you even emailed them yesterday. You know what I mean?
And it's kind of like the golden rule. They say treat others how you want to be treated. And when I sit and think about it, there's like somewhere I love to shop. I'm not going to be annoyed if they send me an email each day. I mean, I get plenty of emails from places I love to shop, and I'm not annoyed about it because I'm like, ooh, what they got today? So you kind of have to think about it that way.
Gotcha.
I still don't send tons, probably not as many as I should, but we do try to at least send, 1 to 2 a week. And I think it's fun. Our customers are glad because they want to see what's new.
Absolutely.
Reach is down on Facebook, or at least it is for me. So sometimes that's how they know what we have in that is new.
Absolutely. So kind of going back to what you were saying about reach and like, Facebook ads and all this kind of stuff, because that's kind of like where we met. Because just so you guys don't know, I'm not sure if we touched on this, but Amber has her physical location, a brick and mortar store. And she kind of came to us looking to kind of increase the online part of it. Right. So Amber, tell everybody a little bit about your experience about like with Facebook ads. Like tell them a little bit of the experience about, before, like your experience and knowledge before working with us. And then kind of like afterwards, how that looks as well.
We made a goal of ours in 2021 to really focus on our website. I mean, to me, it's very important to have like a quality website with good pictures, all those things kind of before you go into the whole Facebook ads. You're paying money for ads. You want everything to look good, right? So we really made it a 2021 goal. Like we sit down and have like our strategy sessions at the end of the year. And that was a goal for us, really build that website and make it professional. Like we're very proud of it. So after that, we decided we would try running some Facebook ads, and we did use a couple of ad agencies, and it just wasn't for me. And I'm not going to say that it will never be for me again, because I just feel like the place I am at in my business, I like to know things. I think knowledge is power. So I would hire ad agencies, and really when I went into my ads manager, I had no idea what I was looking at. I had no idea what the data meant. Like, are we doing well with it? Am I throwing my money away? Like, I didn't know anything. So that's kind of when I started thinking there has to be someone out there that will teach me how to do this myself. Will I forever do it myself? Maybe not. But at least at any given time, if I hire an agency to do it, I can go into my ads manager, I can look at the data, and I can say, hey, this is worth it. This is where I need to be, because I learned so very much in that training. I think it was like 4 weeks, something like that. I learned so much. And that's kind of how I got from where I was to where I am now. And the agencies, like I said, one of them did great. I think we went over the data, but I didn't know they were doing great. So I was like, oh, I think I'm going to stop doing this, because I had no idea, no way of knowing. So anyway, that's how I got here.
Yeah, for sure. I think at the end of the day, like understanding how to read the data, because what happens if you guys aren't familiar with Facebook ads, what happens is you run these ads and then all these like numbers start popping up in Facebook, right? And the only way I can explain these numbers are they're like a language that's literally telling you exactly what's wrong, what's working, what's not working, is this profitable or not. I mean, there's metrics that'll tell you if your website's loading too slow. Like it tells you everything that you want to know. But if you don't understand what that language is trying to tell you, then, you really don't know what the hell you're doing. Like you're really just kind of winging it at that point, right?
In my opinion, I don't think that I want to hire someone else to do it for me if I can at least go in there and understand what's happening. And maybe someday I will, but right now I just really want to learn it on my own and just run it for a while so that I can make good decisions about it. And then if someone else is running it, I can at least have somewhere to understand it, or some way to understand that data.
100%. And just to let you guys know too, like I trained Amber. We kind of went through the process. I showed her everything. And then she goes off and creates her own ad without me. Amber, tell us what happened when you created your very first ad.
So the very first ad I did, it was for Black Friday through Cyber Monday. And I'm going to be honest with y'all and say I expected nothing. Because if you go through the training, you'll understand that so many like ad dollars are going in during that particular time frame from like bigger companies, right? I didn't really expect to get anything off that, but I did well. I mean, it was a short, I think, what did I have, like a 6 times or so, like 6 times return on investment, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And that's great. Especially once you take the training and you learn what it should be, like what's your acceptable. It was great. So anyway, I was really excited about that. So,
absolutely. Like, because now like you have that power of being able to go inside, create those Facebook ads, not just kind of like using the right strategies, but also once they're running, now you kind of have the understanding of knowing what to look for. Is this an actual profitable campaign? Like, should I keep this running? Should I cut it off? Like, you now understand that. And Amber came in, just, started her own ad, did a 6x return on ad spend, her very first ad, which is like crazy to me. If I told you guys my story on my first ad, you guys would be like, fall out of your chair. It was horrendously terrible, right? Because I didn't have the training. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Not anything against YouTube. Obviously, this is a YouTube video, but I'm just saying there's levels to training. You know what I mean?
Valuable is once you learn like what works for your customer, like what really appeals to the audience you're looking for, you can kind of just recreate it. So that one was short-lived because it was Black Friday through Cyber Monday type deal. But then I created another one and I got to sell within the first day. So it's only been running a couple days now. So it's not had a long time to, go anywhere, but I got to sell the first day. So, and I just kind of like based it on the first one that I'd had success with whenever I created that one. So, yeah, it's kind of neat to be able to like see those things come together and to know that it's not just like throwing it out there in the universe and wondering what's going to happen. When you know how to read the data, you can kind of make some decisions based on that. And then the next time you can make more educated decisions about what you create too.
So now that you've kind of like gone through this process, I mean, I don't know, what would be like for the e-commerce businesses out there that are actually looking to get into Facebook ads and starting to run them to grow their business too? Like, what piece of advice would you give them right now?
So my advice would be to learn to do it yourself at first. I don't know what he's going to say, and he knows more about this than me in terms of working with like a lot of other people. But my guess is until you're pulling in a lot just online, that you may want to do it yourself for a while. There's probably like a certain number there where it makes more sense for you to hire an agency. But like I said, even when you get there, just having that knowledge, that it's so powerful. So I would definitely go through a training, try to, just learn what all that data means. Creating the ads themselves is not hard, or at least I didn't think so. Like that part, I feel like you could pull up your ads manager now and you could stumble through it. It's just learning how to do your audiences and your lookalike audiences and all that stuff. And then also the data, reading the data to me was like the crucial thing that you really need to know how to do. So that would be my suggestion. Go through this training and see if you can learn all that information. And, after you have a couple successful ones, you'll be so glad you did.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And obviously you can come to us, like we have mentorship programs, but it doesn't matter if you come to us or if you go to someone else. I would 100% agree with Amber. Like, do not try to just run a bunch of Facebook ads without any training, right? Like when you're riding a bike, like learning to ride a bike, you didn't just hop on the bike and just start riding it, right? You had someone sitting there saying, hey, like, this is how you steer. This is how you pedal, this, right? And then eventually you hop on the bike and you just ride, but you got to take the training first. Like, it's really important, and a lot of people miss that step. Like, really, they really do. So, I mean, Amber, so what's next for Allure Clothing Boutique? Like, what's next? What do you guys got cooking back there?
We are just going to continue in 2022 to focus on our online presence, our storefront. Again, fabulous store manager, fabulous employees. We love our customers here. We'll keep that going and we'll keep, going strong there. But our goal is to keep getting the cute clothes and keep selling them. So we're going to focus on online and just continue to grow that audience.
Awesome. And where can people find you? What's your website, Instagram, all that good stuff?
Our website is allureclothingboutique.com. Our Instagram handle is @Allure Clothing Boutique. On Facebook, you can find us at Allure Clothing Boutique, and there's a little join group button on the Facebook page, and the group is really where all the magic happens. We also have an app. You can download our app, but the group is really where the magic happens. We'll do live sales in there, and post all kinds of selfies and pictures showing everything, and a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in the group. I've had that group since like 2017 or something, I think. So nice, we have a lot of fun in there.
That's great, man. And listen, I'm gonna link everything in the description below as well. So everyone watching, go support, man. Go to their website, go buy something, man. Stop, stop being cheap. Go buy something right now. Right? we gotta support each other, man. That's awesome, man. Well, listen, Amber, I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on and just, giving some gems to everybody, sharing your story. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys got some value. If you did, drop a comment below, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you got some value from this video today. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, you can obviously hit us up at info@vamplivemarketing.com. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Boutique Bosses. I hope y'all have an amazing day, and we will talk soon. Peace.